the Salty Stitcher here on YouTube. If I have to stop to catch my breath or to cough, I'm sorry if that grosses you out. It would probably gross me out too, to be honest. But the Saharan dust apparently is messing with my allergies, which is making my asthma, which is generally pretty controlled, bad. So I've been coughy a little bit. I'm not sick anymore. I feel fine. I just got the crud. We're going to be talking about Threadalog today. This is a stitchy first. It's not really a stitchy first in this case because I've been using Threadalog for a couple months at least. But it is the first time I've shown you in detail kind of how I organize thread per project, but also within kind of like tracking what I have and what I don't have, right? Which I'm not very good at doing. To be completely honest, that second part of it is not something I do consistently enough to actually know exactly how much thread I have at any one given time. Because sometimes I get really impatient and then I'm like, I want to start a project, and I'm like, I'm going to go buy all this stuff because I don't remember what I have and what I don't have. But you know what? It's fine. It's whatever. Kind of depending on how long this video is. If it's super short, then I will be doing another video for this weekend. Since I'm adding in thread organization, I'm hoping it won't be super short. And I'll do the other part of that in a future video. We're going to talk about Threadalog. We're going to talk about the update, the patterns and projects update that we have going on. And I'm going to kind of show you how I keep things going, right? So this is Threadalog. This is right now currently organized by my stash. If you hit that button here, what you get is another kind of like scroll menu. There we go. Where you can look at threads. I've never done the fabrics, and that's mostly because I use fabrics that aren't, like they don't have the designers I tend to use, which is fine, not a big deal. Shopping list, I can do shopping list by date, I can do shopping list by project. Right now I don't have any shopping lists. Patterns and projects, and these are the two new areas of interest, the two updates. So we'll talk about those in just a second. Let's start with just threads. When you're looking for threads, you can browse by brand, which is usually the easier way to do it, and you can look at just what you have in your stash. I've never used this match colors, and I've never even looked at this. According to this, I have 4,124 yards, 0.67 yards of DMC, and just 10 yards of weeks, which is sort of true because I have some stuff in other bags that I haven't put in here because I didn't think it did that. That's interesting. I've never looked at that. It's not important. It doesn't matter. I've never used this match colors either. You could use an eyedropper. That's interesting. I might do that another day. I don't tend to need that because I tend to use what is called for if I need to. This is all of what I have in my stash according to what I've actually inputted into Threadalog, because that's the big part of that. We're going to go with one that I know that I have, which is DMC 310, and I'm going to kind of explain how I organize it and what all of my little notes mean. I've shown this before when I did the Cathedral Woods Goddess at like the first video for that. Oopsie. Stay closed. So these are my new thread keeps. I was talking about these in my last video. I bought these particular ones on Etsy. I also bought some on Amazon just because I didn't want these ones. I wanted my shared ones to be pretty nice and sturdier, and these really are very sturdy. I can talk about those in just a second. Whereas I didn't care so much about these ones being sturdy because if they break, then I buy new ones. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Which they're still pretty nice. So these nice ones are from Etsy. I'll put the shop in below because I want to say it's Sunrise. SunriseGrove. Sorry. SunriseGrove is the brand, the shop I got these from. They're very, very nice, very well done. The numbers are also very consistent, which some of these Amazon ones, like numbers, I had to go back and write over just to make sure. Because I've recently changed these, the way that I'm doing thread organization has changed as well to some extent. Not extensively, but to some extent. So I'll kind of explain how I do it in this video right now. I don't know why I said it that way. Anyways, I have two different types of rings, if you will, right, or drops, thread keeps, right? I have my shared ones, which are these ones here, which are on these nice sturdy ones, and then I have each project has its own ring for the colors that are not being shared by other projects, right? So if it's on this ring, that means at least two projects at one time, maybe not currently, but at one time, 2 projects use the colors on this ring, right? Whereas these ones are all colors that are not being currently used by any more than just this one project. This is my herbalist ring, which you can see I've labeled on the back. I also put the little sticker for the fabric so I could keep track of it, which I might do in the future as well if I have it still. I don't have it for everyone. You also see that I have my Weeks die works for the herbalist project on this one as well. And that's kind of how I've decided to do it. Because I'm not going to put the Weeks on a drop because it doesn't make sense to in my head for some reason. I don't know. I have little magnetic hooks that I put these on. So DMC 310 or 310 is on here. 310 is also on here as well, obviously. This is 310. And I know this one because this is numerical order. It's the only one that's like correctly numerical order as far as I know. But I also created myself a little list. So these are thread lists for the project, right? And I'm going to eventually go back and put the ones on shared, like I'm going to write it on each one, but I also have one for the shared drop, right? And I can kind of show you that actually. So this is my Excel file, my numbers file technically because it's Apple, for my shared drop, right? So these are all the DMC colors that I have on this, and because there's more than one drop, I have keep one, keep, not drop, keep. I have keep one, and I have each numbered, and then I have keep 2, right? And so that's what this is printed off of. I'm planning on laminating some of these if I can remember where I put my lamination sheets. I just don't remember where they are. But this is from the actual project itself. And then I've handwritten some, like where each thread is. Like for instance, you can see there, it's not going to be backwards once I do everything, but 167, DMC 167 is on this drop in the space number 2. Because what I did not want to do is I did not want to have to write numbers on here with Sharpie, because then I could not use this for another project in the future. And my handwriting is horrible, and so the least I have to handwrite, the better. But that's how I know what floss is in what position on what keep as of right now. And that may, who knows, may change. This seems to work to some extent, and once I get it laminated, I think it'll be fine. But these are my drops. We're looking at, nope, that's not what I need. We're looking at DMC 310, right? It says that I have 2 skeins, and then I have an unused skein, and it says in the notes on drop in shared, or in your dash shared, right? And what that means is that I have already cut that thread up. That skein is like cut into lengths and ready to stitch with, and has been used or is currently being used, right? So if it just says dropped and it doesn't say share, or on drop rather, and it doesn't say share, what that means is it is on a Kumihimo bobbin in my unorganized bag of Kumihimo bobbins. Ta-da! I have little stickers for the DMC stickers just because, again, my handwriting is horrible, and even on these, the Sharpie was not wanting to stay. So this is 150, DMC 150, which you can see right there, right? So if I look in the notes and it just says it's on drop, that means I've used it at some point in time, and now it's on a Kumihimo bobbin for long-term storage in this bag, which goes down here so I can always find it. If it is on shared, it's on here. If it says what project it's for, it's on that project ring. That's what I've been doing since I started using Threadalog. And it's worked pretty well. I actually really like this system. It doesn't bother me at all. Maybe it's chaotic for some, but I have ADHD, so it's fine. If I don't have an unused skein, being like listed an unused skein, which you'll see when I put this footage in, what that means is, ideally, what it means, it doesn't always mean this, but what it means is that it is in my DMC photo box of, or like my photo box of DMC, right? So I have them listed out by numbers. I used to have them listed out by color families, kind of like as per color card, but it takes so much longer to actually dig through them. So these are DMC 1 through 49. I didn't actually look to see, you know, there is a 49. I don't know. I didn't do that. I just did 50 number sets, right? So I have 700 through 749, right? So that's what I got. That's how I can find out where I need to find it, right? So if it's unused, or if it's just listed as a skein, not an unused skein necessarily, come back. not an unused ski necessarily. It's in one of these boxes, or it's in a bag somewhere that I need to find. Whether that's a Michael's bag that I haven't organized, or the the bottom of a project bag, just in case I need an extra ski. So that's how that is currently so far. I have 2 of those, and I have enough room for all of those, right? I also have my 310 and my whites separated because those are easier for me to find that way. So I've talked about what it means if it's an unused skein. I've talked about what it means if it's just a skein, right? Now, let me find one that I know for sure is being used. But only one project. 35? I think 35 is... Okay, so here you go. I have an unused skein. It's on drop Deadly Aquarium, right? Like a dare. Right, which if you click on it will move you over to an edit screen, right? And so that's how I've been doing it, right? Not how I found. That's how I've been doing it. I can tell you kind of where it is based on what this says. Now, still works. I'm still probably going to keep doing that. I don't think I'm going to change that necessarily. But now we also have a patterns button and a projects button. So I have all my projects buttons. I've not been using this as a like tracking progress, because for me that most of these are Sal's. So like, how do I I can't track that way. I would either have to anyways. No. You know what I mean. I can't track it that way because I'd have to go through and I'd count how many releases I've done. And that would be the only way that I could track progress, because I wouldn't know how many stitches I have. Point being. Alright, so this is one that I've been doing. I am up to date on my Deadly Aquarium. I got my sharks in. I'm very excited about my sharks. I'll show you those next week. Well, a shark and some pilot fish and a barracuda. Every time while I was stitching it, I kept thinking of I think it's a Heart song. No, it's a Pat Benatar song. Barracuda. That's not how she says it. I can't think of how. Anyways, whatever. It don't matter. So this is Deadly Aquarium. Deadly Aquarium has been completely put in. What I've been doing is I've been just putting in the thread list or the front page, right? This doesn't actually have a pattern. This is just the first, the info page, the pre-stitch instructions info page type thing. And then I have been putting in the threads. So these are all the threads. Now this will tell me that I have a low amount in stash. And what I'm assuming this means is that when I put in all of my patterns, if multiple patterns need a full skein of a color, and I only have one skein listed, then it's going to tell me that I have a low amount in stash. Whether that actually means that I don't have enough, I don't know. You could go through and do 0.4 stitches or 0.4 yards as per the pattern instructions, but I don't, not every pattern does it that way, and not every pattern needs to do it that way, because it doesn't really matter, if that makes sense. For me, it doesn't really matter because I'm not tracking actual thread amounts. I'm tracking, more so than anything, probably thread position or where it is. Thread location, there we go, that's a better word, right? But I've went through and I put all of Deadly Aquarium in here, right? And what and then this one I've got threads in, right? But there's only 3 threads for this project. This is for Forest Fairy Tale, right? I have the Herbalist Salve, which I just showed you the drop for, right? Now, my thought is, sorry for the coughing, my thought is, how can I make it so that I can see what projects are, where can I use this to be helpful? So what we're going to do first is we are going to add another project. We are going to add in make sure I haven't done it yet. I might have done it already. Ah, I have. Okay. So we are going to do, because I've bought recently another project. So we can do it this way, because I didn't realize I had already done it. So, download files, download. I'm not anywhere near getting ready for this one because I'm still waiting for fabric anyways, but this is going to be Stitch Crypt's A Study of Skulls cell. And so what we'll do is we'll add that into this project. So we're going to make a new project. This is study of skulls, which I'm pretty excited about because that sounds badass. So, right, I'm going to add in a pattern. So you can select an existing pattern, or you can add a new pattern. which I'd assume you could do that in case you had 2 projects with the same pattern. I technically do, and I think I used it for that. I can show you in just a second. Where are you? Where are you? Recents. Let's do this the easy way. There we are. Good. Okay. So now I put this in here. Study. Ooh, jeez. Can't write. Study of skulls. Not skills. Skulls. Well, now it thinks it's skills. Jesus. Skulls Cell. There we go. This is by the Stitch Crypt. Yep. Yeah, I don't have a company necessarily. I believe it is fully cross-stitched, so we'll leave that. It is not... Oh, it is in it's technically in Stash. So we'll leave that alone. Pattern size. Now this is the really cool thing about this feature is that you can click this button down here and you can actually see the pattern. So if it's in here, I'll have to blur that out so you can't see that. If it's in here, it should be so it's 121 by 198 stitches. I don't know if it's full coverage yet. If it is, we'll deal with that then. What I'm planning on doing is putting the schedule here, but I haven't done it yet on any of the other ones, so I won't do it right now. What I've done in the past in other apps is I put like have fabric waiting for floss, or have floss waiting for fabric, or whatever the situation is. I don't find that that's really necessary anymore, so it's good. So we're going to save. This is in planning, so we're not going to change that. So now I have this, right? And then I can go find my new one. Study of Skulls Cell. That's going to be like tailor-made for making my life difficult. Now I can select thread colors, right? So again, I can pull up the thread list. Here we go. And I can go from here. So the only thing with this is it doesn't allow you to just filter out one brand, which is kind of annoying. And since Anchor starts with an A, Anchor is always at the beginning, but that's okay. Blanc. See if it actually pulls up. There we go. No, it's not. White. Sometimes it wants white, sometimes it wants blanc. I don't really know. White. Okay. Also, the other part of this is my handwriting is really freaking bad. So we will show keyboard, make my life a bit easier. White. White. That's what that means, by the way. It just says white. You check this little box here, and then you keep going. You don't have to go back and like save that, because when you hit save, you're saving all the threads that you've already picked. We're going to do 2. In fact, because of the way this is organized, this might even be easier just to kind of go like this. 2, 3, 4. 33, 35, 167, 310, 316 and 17, 413. I'll probably speed through this part so that you don't have to worry about listening to this. 413. 433. And again, as you can see, I'm not changing skeins to 0.5 skein. Not every pattern carries that information anyways. Like some of the times, I think if you use I forget what app it is or what service it is, but there's a certain service that a lot of pattern designers use that will occasionally have thread amounts to the percentage, like to the point, but or the fractional point. It's just not really necessary for me and my purposes. I don't care that much. I can always go buy more thread. If you lived in a place where it's harder for you to get thread, or you're using a thread that's harder for you to find, it could be useful there. I live in San Antonio. I can't walk to it, but I like there's one just down the road. pretty much. There's a Michael's just down the road. I can always order things, have them picked up, that kind of stuff. Make my life easy. It's generally what I do anyways. So what I'm trying to find is if I already have this in my stash, more so than if I have enough. Because I can always go buy more. I'm not too worried about that. And I'm not using anything with lot numbers that are significantly different anyways. So that should be fine. So 413, 762, 762, 780, 780, 2 and 3, 814. And I don't have a full set of DMC BTW. I have doubles and triples of some things that I've been using for a while. Like I have 20 310s, just because that's something that I use so often. 69. But I don't have a full set, so sometimes I do have to go and buy. And that's okay. I'd rather do that than have a full set, because I would forget that I needed to replenish, I guess is the best way of saying that. And then that, like, it's a lot. So I don't want to do that. Which is probably a lot only in my brain, but that's okay. 889. 898. There we go. Geez, that's going to be hard for me to remember. 898 and then 989. Whew, that's difficult. 989 is a blue, I believe. A dark blue. 980. Nope, it's a 4 screen. I'm correct. Incorrect. 3790. 3790. 90. 30. It's weird that one's up there, but which is slightly always concerning when one of them's out of order, because then I sit there and I go, am I just incorrectly reading it, or did it just get stuck? Which I'm hoping it got stuck. If I need to fix it, I can always go buy more thread. I'm less worried about that. DMC, we'll do this 3 30. See, and then sometimes you get to a place where you kind of have to go through and just type it in, make your life a little bit easier. 30345. It also will have cotton, pearl cotton, tapestry wool, whatever it is that DMC carries in this. It'll offer as an extra, like a option. So just be careful with that. Don't check this first one and not double check it. 45, 46. I also really like it sometimes when designers put in the color name, because it makes double checking in that I can actually read it correctly. So 99 is a dark gray, and then 3830. Terracotta. Terracotta. Okay, cool. So that should be all of them. Then I'm going to hit save here, and now I have them here, right? So it's going to tell me I have a low amount in stash. That might just be because I did at one point in time try to go and measure, and yeah, that's because I'm silly. Don't do that. That's not necessary. It really has not been helpful for me at all. But like, for instance, if I want to look and see, okay, is this that I have a low amount, or is that I have none? So I have none, right? And so what I can do is I can, oops, not that. I can do this. So I can add to the shopping bag anything that I just don't have. Right, so I probably do need another one of these. It says I have none, or I have one. It'll be fine. I'm not going to worry too much about that. This one I know I have plenty. It should be fine. 167 should be fine for that one. 316. I just need to see if I just don't have any at all. So this one I don't have any at all. 317 I should be fine, but I'm going to double check it. It's on Barbie already. I must have this logged in a couple of different places. Again, if you need it, if you have inputted that you need one skein of this for 5 projects and you only have one skein, in your stash, like it's going to tell you you have a low amount. It doesn't actually mean that you have a low amount necessarily. It just means that multiple projects are using it, and so you need to be careful. But go through, check, see what you actually just need to buy. Because there's some of these I just don't got. And that's okay. So I could go buy them. I might have them too, to be honest. I just haven't logged it. Because I do that sometimes. On page. So this is on a... It's supposed to say on drop. So for some reason I typoed it. But this means that I have it in my Kumihimo bobbins. So I'm not going to buy that one. Because I have it. I just don't... I'm not currently using it. Don't have this one. So put that one in there. 326. I should have this on Vampirum. So I shouldn't need that one. This one, I have an extra one somewhere. I know because I'm using that for Deadly Aquarium. So, and I'm pretty sure I'm using it for another one too. 377. So I don't have any of this one. So I'm going to put that one. 3782. Don't have any of this one. So I'm going to hit that one. This one, I have multiple skeins. I have more skeins somewhere. Going to need that. To be honest, I probably should just go ahead and buy one. Oh no, it says I have two. It'll be fine. Because you don't ever, I can very rarely ever need all of these, right? And so all the ones that I have, like checked, if I hit the little shopping bag again and I hit save, I should have them in my shopping list. Oh, and it changes. I haven't seen that yet. It changes, which is cool. So there we go. So now I have all of my threads listed for project study of skulls, geez Louise, by Stitch Crypt. I've already bought the fabric I need, which is really cool, like teal, bright electric teal green. I'll be talking about it in my next floss tube, I'm sure. But now you can see I have all of these. This is not even all of them because I don't think I have my, I don't have my long dog on this list because I'm using a fancy floss that's not going to be on this app. And I don't have my Mirabilia in here yet, which I do need to put in here because it does use DMC. So there we go. There we go. That's what that looks like. So now the question is, how do I use this to be helpful for myself, right? Come on, just let me live my life. There we go. Right? So my thought is, if I go back up here to browse and I go to DMC and I just do cotton, just so I'm easy squeezy. Right, so I have TMC3. So I know this is on shared because I already have this marked as on shared. Now I need to look at active projects. So all of these projects are using this. Not ironically enough, but one thing that I haven't noted yet is that my Moonlit Market cell is pretty much done. The only thing that's left to be released are optional extras. I don't know if I'm going to be doing those. I don't know what colors they're going to need, so I'm not touching it. I'm not like breaking it down yet. But technically speaking, Moonlit Market is done. Right? That way I know for sure, right? Moonlit Market also technically uses, I don't know if I have both of those in here. Anyways, right? So I have number 4, DMC4. So I have Vampirum and Studies of Skull. Studies of Sal, right? Studies of Skull. Jeez Louise. Study of Skulls. There we go. So right now it is only on Vampirum. When I get ready to actually kit up for Study of Skulls, I will need to put that on shared, right? And so I had to figure out how I'm going to do that. I'm probably not going to reorganize it. I'm just going to have to handwrite stuff in, that kind of thing. We'll figure it out. I'm not too worried about that. I'm not going to go through here and like clean this up necessarily because I don't want things to get lost. So it'll probably just go on my second little thing that hasn't got everything in there yet. But that's how I'll know that I need to switch that. 5 on drop. Let me see another color that I know that I have on something. So this is on Monster House. There's another one somewhere. So this is on Deadly Aquarium. And now I'm going to hit active projects. Now I know that I'm going to need to kit this up. Right? Let me see. There's one that I know that I probably am going to have to deal with later. Yeah, so this one. This is another one that where, because I'm finished up Moonlit Market, this one's probably going to have to, like, I'm going to have to decide if I'm going to keep it on shared and just make it so that it's easy to find, or if I'm going to move it to the Monster House cell because my Moonlit Market cell is no longer going to need it. I probably am going to keep it on shared just because some of the project thread keeps, I picked ones that are small enough that I didn't have to worry about. So we'll see. Like I didn't pick a purposely big. I purposely did not pick a big thread keep. I picked a smaller one because it only needed a smaller one. So we'll see. I haven't quite decided how I'm going to handle that yet. Like, I don't know if there's just going to be, like, maybe at the end of the year I go through and I clean it up. That might be what happens. Or if I, like, look at it, I look at it and it tells me that I need to, that I'm only using it for one thing and that's been done. Like, I don't know. We'll see. What I'll probably end up doing is I'll keep it on shared, right? So I'll keep it where it says shared here, but I'm going to keep kind of an eye on this active projects list. And once this becomes one, there's only one project on it. When that project is over, then I need to go through and I need to clear out and take things off shared and put them on drops, right? So for instance, let's see, 310. So this is Monster House and Deadly Aquarium. Both of those are going to keep going for a long time. 310 is obviously not going to be that either. 17. This is only on Barbie, but technically it's going to be on 3 of these. Because Barbie actually isn't in this project list either yet, so I need to do that too. So this will probably have to go to shared anyways. What? Oh, no, because it's already on my shared. No, it's not. It's not on my shared. Okay, so this will have to go on shared anyways, right? But 313 or 319, Moonlit Market. Technically, I'm also using this for my year-long sale, which is not in here because it doesn't make sense to put it in here. But it makes sense to me to put it in here. 310 active projects, 2 of them. I haven't started Vampirum, or I haven't started Book of Fungi, so it's not actually. It's still on the Vampirum. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. I haven't quite decided how I'm going to do it yet, so that's kind of a future thing, right? Like I haven't decided if I'm going to clear it up consistently or what. I don't know. If it's not being used at all, it most likely is going to get put on the drop, which means I'll just have empty spaces and I'll just have to cross things out. I'm trying to think of this for sure color that I know is going to be this way. Moonlit Market's on my 3. So Moonlit Market is currently on my, this is a good one. Okay. Moonlit Market is currently on my shared drop, which means it's being used somewhere else or had been in the past. So what my assumption would be is that maybe it was used in Femurs and Fungi, right? So now that Moonlit Market is done, I'm going to probably have to look and see if I want to take it off my shared. We'll see. So if you have suggestions or thoughts or concerns or questions I didn't answer, sorry, I've all curled up and I had to move my leg, let me know. This ended up being 32 minutes of footage. Some of this is not going to be usable, obviously, so this may be the only video I do this week, which would be kind of cool, because I'm not really quite ready to do another one. But I don't know. If you have any questions, if you have any thoughts, if you have any concerns, let me know, and I can try to answer them. Yeah. Holler if you need me. See you next time. Bye!